Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for today's continued discussion on Bhakthiyaloka. And today is Papa Mochini Egadasi on this very awesome, fantastic holiday. We have gathered here to discuss on this Bhakthiyaloka. So, before we do that, let's do our invocation prayer, seeking the blessings from all the acharyas and all the Guru Vargas to bless us abundantly in pure devotional service and also to understand the subject matter. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vande Ham Sri Guru Sri Yuddha Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidam Cha Namavam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Shri Krishna Prabhutale. Srimati Jayapataka Swami Tinavani Namacharya Padai Nitai Kripa Pradai Nigara Tata Ramadai. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupai Rupanugarai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we have gathered here and to continue our discussion. And today is very auspicious day. Especially on this auspicious day, it is very auspicious for us to recite the entire names of Egadasi. All right. So I hope that you all can recite along with me. All right. Now, starting the month of Chaitra, according to the Vedic month, or in Tamil we call Chitrai. Chitrai we haven't started, but in Vedic month, this is the March, April. Then second is, consider this is the month, the first month. Then second is Vaishaka, or Vaishaka, what they call in Tamil, Vaigasi. Then Jeshta, Ashada, Shravana, Bhadrapada, Ashwin, Kartiga, Margashirsha, Pausha, Maga. Maga means Margali, Palguna, Pangudi. So, like that, every Vedic month there is 2 Egadasi. All right. So today we're going to recite all the names of Egadasi because as in Egadasi Mahatmya it's mentioned that Radharani herself said that those who recite the names of Egadasi on this Egadasi day, they get the full benefit, right? So let's recite together. Papa Mochani Egadasi. Today is Papa Mochani Egadasi. What does that mean? Papa Mochani. Papa means sin. Mochani means to remove or to be liberated from sin, right? So they call Papa Mochani Egadasi. Today is Papa Mochani Egadasi. Okay. So again, Papa Mochani Egadasi, Kamada Egadasi, Varudini Egadasi, Mohini Egadasi, Apara Egadasi, Nirjala Egadasi, Yogini Egadasi, Devashyani Egadasi, Kamika Egadasi, Shravana Putrada Egadasi, Aja Egadasi, Parivartini Egadasi, Indira Egadasi, Pashankusha Egadasi, Rama Egadasi, Uttana Egadasi, or also known as Prabodhini Egadasi, Margashish, okay, Utpatti Egadasi, Mokshada Egadasi, Sappala Egadasi, Pausha Putrada Egadasi, Shaktila Egadasi, Vaini Egadasi, which is also known as Jaya Egadasi, Vijaya Egadasi, right? Then again, there's a, sorry, Jaya Egadasi now is Vijaya Egadasi and Amalaki Egadasi. So there are total of 12 Egadasis in a year that that we celebrate. Okay, and today is Papa Mochini Ekadasi. So it's a good fortune that all of us are here gathered to study on the teachings of Bhakti Vinod Thakur through Bhakthiyaloka. Right. So let's start our program. Let me download. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So where we stopped yesterday, okay. So we stopped yesterday at this place, right? A Grasta Vaishnava should constantly chant, all right? So let's do a quick recap of what we have learned so far. Okay, so that Bhakti Vinod Thakur is explaining, all right? We just go to the last paragraph. He says, when one is encouraged in devotional service by the association of devotees, that means encouraged, right? One becomes free from unwanted contamination, all right? Anartha nivirti, unwanted contamination, all that contamination which is not necessary will be released, all right? How are we going to get released from these kind of things? By following the regulative principle. That is why we always advise the devotees, when you first start to come into bhakti, if you decide to make bhakti as your lifestyle, if you have got proper knowledge that says that, yes, that's it. I'm not going to be born here again anymore. I don't want to go through this kind of belief, this kind of condition anymore, because we are all conditioned soul. All right. So yesterday night in Namahat, I had a very nice discussion how the soul becomes conditioned. All right. So we are all conditioned soul. Okay. Okay, I think I just explained that quickly here because this is very important, because we must understand how the conditioning process actually starts. Okay, so when you look at this, okay, the first thing is like this, right? This is the material body, or also known as gross body. Okay, it's known as gross body. Okay, and this gross body is made of how many elements? 5 elements. Okay, so how it's made of? It's made like this. Okay, number 1, it is made of 5 material elements. Okay, 5 material elements means what? Air, water, ether, right? We call this as Maha Bhuta, or we also call as Panjabhuta. 5 material element. Then we have 5 senses. It's made of 5 senses. Then it also has 5 working senses. Then it also has 5 knowledge, right? 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So there are total of 20 elements in this gross body. All right. Then there's another body is called, okay, there's another body, and this is body called as Okay. This is body is called as, right? This body is called as subtle body, right? The subtle body is actually the body that is conducive to enter into all varieties of gross manifestation. Okay, there are so many gross manifestation. Okay, like for instance, the form of a tree, the form of a pig, the form of a mosquito, and all these kind of things. So and subtle body is so subtle, it can enters into all varieties of bodies. And what these things made of? Okay, number one is made of mind. Okay, then it's made of intelligence. Okay, then it's made of ego, or we call it as false ego. False ego, or in other words, easy language, we can call it as wrong identification. So we wrongly identify ourselves, thinking that I am an Indian, I'm a Chinese, I am Malaysian, and this and that. It's all wrong identification. Okay, so the material conception alone, we have 23 elements total. All right, so 5 material element, 5 senses, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring, acquiting. Sorry for the wrong word. Is acquiring. Okay, it's supposed to be acquiring. We okay. So 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and we have subtle body. Then we have another body. All right, that is our original body, and this body is actually the okay. This body is actually the what we call it as the original form of a living entity. We call it is the soul. Right? We call it as soul. Soul. Right? And what is the nature of the soul? The nature of the soul, it is spiritual,
Chachi Ananda.
eternal, all right, spiritual, eternal, and spiritual, eternal, blissful. Okay, Sachit Ananda Vigraha, Sachit Ananda, Sachit. So spiritual, eternal, blissful. So these are the basic characteristic of the soul. So now what happens?
Krishna, bro.
Huh?
Knowledgeable or spiritual, bro?
Spiritual. The soul is spiritual by nature.
Okay.
Spiritual. Okay, Ananda Vigraha. Okay. Also, okay, we also can add that one. Full of knowledge. All right. Anyway, we don't talk about that first. Okay. All right. Now, the nature of the soul is spiritual. It is eternal and it's blissful. Okay. But I think even the word blissful also is not necessary here, because I'm not going to make a point there. Okay. So, all right. Right. Okay. So that is this thing. So now what happened? Now in this gross material body, okay, we have been infused. So in this gross material body, there is a okay, in that gross material body, what do you call okay, the subtle body is inside the gross material body. Okay, but now what happened in this kind of 23 kinds of conditioning, which is very steep. So the soul has been infused into this. Okay, the soul has been infused. You know what is infused means? Infused. Right? Infused means another, or in Tamil we call tinichachi. Okay, tinikiradu. Okay, do you understand? Okay, then the soul has been infused into this. gross material body. So when the soul has been infused, okay, you all understand what I'm saying? Infused, you know, sometimes sometimes what happen when we are like something is there, but you force the thing into it. Okay, infuse. All right, just like, okay, I can give you an example, like, you know, being a spare part dealer before, sometimes when they're greasing, you know, in certain parts, we have to put in a grease. So there'll be a small knob on top. So we take the greaser machine, we put it inside, we press, and the grease will be infused into the parts. Okay, that means pushed in, forced in, right? Or in Tamil we call tinichutachi, tinichachi. So when the soul has been, what happened? A pure soul like this has been infused into this two huge covering, that is gross covering, and there's also subtle covering. The gross covering will always change. All right, we always change. Now I got a human body. In the future, I may have a pig body. Then I have a dog body. Then I have a monkey body. Like that, the gross body will keep changing. But the subtle body will take the soul along and to enter into all varieties of body. Okay, so that means the soul has been embodied. This is what they call the process of this. We call this as embodied. All right, or in other words, the body, the soul was being infused into the body. Okay, embodied. Okay, embodied means it has been, the soul has been infused into a body. All right, like for instance, entombed. All right, for instance, we see when a person passed away, they'll build a tomb. You know, tomb, T-O-M-B, tomb, kalare. Then they take the body and put inside the tomb, and they call that as entombed. Okay, like that, the soul has been entombed. The soul has been infused into this gross material nature, and that's when it is called as embodied. Okay, do you all follow me this? Anyone of you don't understand? Now you all understand what is embodied means? Thumbs up. If you don't understand, you can ask a question. Who's thumbs up? Oh, Nanda Mataji. Okay, others? Chiang Prabhu, do you understand this? Rusan Mataji?
Yes, yes.
How about you, Rusan Mataji? Yes, you have unmuted, but I didn't hear you anything. I think something wrong with your audio. Maybe you can send a message. All right, great. Okay, so now you understand. So this is what it means by embodied. Okay. All right. Now, okay. Now you look at this. So that means when we are encouraged in devotional service by association of devotee, one becomes free from unwanted contamination. Okay, following the regulative principle. All right. So principle and chanting and hearing. Okay. So that means when we are embodied into this kind of a material condition, we have all kind of anarthas, unwanted contamination. All right. And that unwanted contamination will acquire maybe some, like certain habits we acquire from our previous birth, and some habit we acquire from our family tradition, and some we will acquire in between. While in the process of growing up and associating with the wrong people, we may acquire this kind of habits, right? Like certain habits from previous birth, all right? Like say like smoking, drinking, okay, that's a previous thing. Then the family tradition, buying gold, or what they call gambling, like that Rusan Mataji is telling, you know, Chinese must gamble. So that is the family. Then after that, in between, we acquire. What we acquire, we become a womanizer. As we grow up, you know, we start to look good. Okay, I become a playboy. And that is halfway I acquire. So this kind of anarthas, there's a lot of anarthas, and some of the belief system, I am this, I am that, I am so-called of this, I born in this family, these kind of things. All these things can be free from unwanted contamination. All this contamination, we have to free ourselves. when one is encouraged in devotional service by the association of devotee. Because the job of a devotee is to tell you that actually you are not what you think. You think you're a Chinese, you think you're an Indian, you think you are this, you think you are that. Actually, you are not that. Really? So they will teach you. Then after how we're going to follow the regulative principle. So we have to follow the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So when we follow this kind of 4 regulative principles, that's when we can free ourselves. So step 1, association devotee. Number 2, follow the rules. All right. After that, you don't simply follow the rules. All right. There's so many people out there who don't perform illicit sex, who don't drink, who don't have any intoxication, who are a vegan diet, right? And they don't gamble. So is that mean they are so elevated? You know, like are they so, have you seen people who don't have any bad habit at all? Also, are they elevated? No. So the elevation only happen when we start to chanting and hearing. Sravanam Kirtanam. We have to chant and we have to hear the Krishna Katha. So that's when this thing. So when one is freed from unwanted contamination, once we are released from that unwanted contamination, so what happened? We start to advance in firm faith. All right? Because the benchmark or the yardstick to check whether I have firm faith or not, when we could give up all the habits in a spiritual way. That means we know we have this thing. Now from the firm faith, what happened? Firm faith in devotional service, what will happen? Okay, devotional service awakened. Now only the real devotional service is awakened. Okay, so once the devotional service is awakened, now you start to spontaneously, you start to serve and everything, then your taste for hearing and chanting also awaken. So that means before that, we are simply hearing just out of inquiring. Well, is it true? Does it make sense? Does it this? Does it that? Okay, we are learning. But once we have a devotional service awakened, now what happened? Our hearing and chanting also awakens. That's when your chanting and hearing will go to the next level. Okay. Then after that, the taste. Okay, ruchi. In Tamil, we call rusi. Right? So ruchi awakens. So once the taste is awakened, what happened? A deep attachment arises. Right? So deep arises. All right? What do you call that? Nishta. Okay, firm faith. Shravanadi, okay, Ruchi, Haiti, Bhaktiya, Hoy, Ashakti, Prachura, all right? Ashakti. That means the deep attachment awakened. Then from that attachment, what happened? The seed of love for Krishna grows in the heart. That's when the Bhakthiyaloka wish that we have in our heart by default will start to grow. Okay? So then when the things start growing, that's when you can start to feel ecstatic, emotional stage intensify. When you chant, suddenly you can choke into tears. When you hear about Krishna, about the pastime, so you start to become very emotional person. But that is not an ordinary emotion. Like you know like in the outside world we see a lot of sensitive people. It's not this kind of emotion. The stage, the love emotion intensified. Right. So when that ecstatic emotion is, this is called love of Godhead. That's when the real love of Godhead will manifest. And okay, so that means when they intensify, that means bhava, then that's called bhava. Then bhava, when the thing intensify further, you go to the level of prema. All right. But you cannot actually go to the level of prema because there's a love that is sometimes what they call the love is like the feeling of separation. Okay. The devotee can be very frustrated. This thing. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to go to the topic. So anyway, that's this thing. Okay. Right. Then such love is the ultimate goal and also the reservoir of all pleasure. And that's the time that we start to face or experience the real pleasure of the Godhead. Right? Now, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is going to say, Agrasta Vaishnava. Okay, let's start today's topic. What the Agrasta Vaishnava should do? The Agrasta Vaishnava should constantly, not whenever you feel like it, constantly, every single day, every single moment, you should chant the holy names while carefully giving up 10 offenses. Right? There are 10 offenses in holy name. But what we have to start constantly chant. That's when you start to carefully. That means you have to identify. That's why I'm telling the journaling is a fantastic method. I hope that you're still maintaining your journal. Write it every day. That's when you can check and balance of your life. If not, your life will be whimsical. Your life will be just like it just passed through just like a passing cloud. Correct? It's not going to be significant and it's not going to be authentic. Right? So now, as stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, chapter 4, text 70 to 71. So what Lord Chaitanya is saying? Bhajanera Madhye Shrestha Nava Vidya Bhakti. Krishna Prema, Krishna Dite Dare Mahashakti. Mahashakti. Okay, not ordinary, but very powerful. Even in Malay also we call Mahashakti. Very powerful. Tore Madhye Sarva Shrestha Nama Sankirtana Niraparade Nama Laile Paya Premadar. Among the ways of executing, I mean, there are so many ways of executing devotional service. Please underline all the statement. The 9 prescribed methods are the best. Okay, the 9 prescribed methods are the best. Okay, for these process have great potency to deliver Krishna in ecstatic love for him. Okay, these process have great potency to deliver Krishna in ecstatic love for him. Okay, that you can feel ecstatic love. Okay, these are the 9 processes just now we said, right? Sadhu Sangha, Anatta Nivirti, and all these 9 processes. Okay, now Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, of the 9 process, among the 9 process of devotional service, the most important, okay, let me underline also to make a strong point, the most important, okay, among the 9 process, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. All right, among all the 9 processes, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding 10 kinds of offenses, that means while we are doing it, one very easily obtain the most valuable love of God. Right? So when we can do that, we can easily achieve the most valuable gift. Right? That is the love of God. A householder should accept pure devotional service, not based simply religious sentiment. He should not accept, right? Should accept pure devotional service that is not based, right? That means we should not accept these kind of things just simply as a religious sentiment. Oh, I'm in this religion, so I just simply follow. There's no such thing, right? We should not do that, right? So it should not base simply. It should not just out of religious sentiment. That's why when we perform Bhakti Yoga, we also call as Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi means intelligence, all right? So in Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Leela chapter 23, text 41, the Lord says, Mora nirtya dekite uhara kun shakti, payapan karileke mote haya bhakti. What qualification does he have to watch my dancing? By drinking milk, can one attain devotion for me? All right? So now he's asking a question. So Lord Chaitanya is asking, what qualification does he have to watch me dancing? What is his qualification? Or and then second question he asks, that means just by drinking milk can one attain devotion for me? All right? It's a story about a devotee who do not eat anything, who never eat anything, but he only drink milk. From the day he was born until this past time, he only drinks milk. He drink milk in the morning, he drink milk in the afternoon, he drink milk in the evening. So just he never eat any grains, he don't eat anything. His diet is 100% lactose diet, milk diet. So then he thought that he's such a great devotee. Then he said, then that's why Lord Chaitanya is asking this question. We will study this when we go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? There's a pastime of this. So he has one qualification to watch my dancing. What is qualification? That means by drinking milk, can one attain devotion for me? Just if you think, oh, that means just by following a strong, strict diet, are we going to achieve this kind of liberation for me? He asked that question. So that is something that we should reflect, especially on this Ekadasi. On this Ekadasi day, it's a very common for devotees to see what to eat, what not to eat. So that is not the goal of Ekadasi. The goal of Ekadasi is to think, oh, I cannot eat this, I should not eat that, oh, I cook, can I eat like 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there's one Mataji now in my temple. She asked that question, can I eat cucumber? Can I eat this, what they call? What is the fruit? What is the thing? Pumpkin. Can I eat pumpkin? Why? Because there's a seed inside. I say, that's not important. How many rounds are you chanting on Ekadasi? And she just kept quiet. Oh, Ekadasi day, I don't eat all these. I don't take any risk. So I just take some normal fruits that has no seed. And I go to sleep early now. I said, now, how many rounds are you chanting? I asked, how many rounds are you chanting? Then she just looked at me. She said, well, no, your consciousness on Ekadasi day is not to say do's and don'ts. What food I should not take, what food I should take, and this and that. That's not important. The Ekadasi day is the day that you're going to dedicate 100% for Krishna Seva. Right? That's the day, auspicious day. So you engage yourself in service to the Lord. So on that day, what do? You don't cook at all. Right? It's fasting, so you don't cook. Even you cook, you just prepare fruits. Fruit doesn't need to cook. You need to peel the skin and cut it. That's it. So then after that, you just simply eat the fruit. So you minimize your time in cooking, minimize your time in activity, and minimize in everything. And what you should do, not simply stay in the room and say, I am fasting, therefore I'm sleeping. Oh, I'm fasting. That is not fasting. That is dieting. You are going into a diet, right? So that is not recommended. The idea about Ekadasi, it is to fast or restrain from other activity and engage fully in seva. If you are chanting 16 rounds on Ekadasi day, you should be considering chanting 32 rounds. It's the time that you should double up your effort. If you're chanting 32, you should attempt 64. Okay? Oh, okay, if I'm only doing 8 rounds a day, now is the day, at least once a day. At least on Ekadasi day, do your 16 rounds. Right? Because on Ekadasi day, the blessings are abundant in devotional service. Right? Any devotional service that you perform on Ekadasi day, like what we are doing now, we are discussing this Bhakthiyaloka, and we're discussing Chaitanya Charitamrita and talking about Krishna Katha. So this is what is devotional service. On Ekadasi day, any form of devotional service you perform, even a single devotional service, maybe just by going down to Tulasi Maharani, right? Or just chant one time. Whatever things that you do today on Ekadasi day, it gives you a huge benefit. Huge benefit. Okay? Not by dieting and not by eating non-grains that you get at this thing. Because in Ekadasi day, there's the concept of diet, it is not there. All right? The concept of diet, simply eat something no grains. Very straightforward instruction. Eat something which has no grains. All right? You can take kwachi, you can take this kind of flour, okay, like from a sunflower, buckwheat, okay, moringa, all these kind of things which is come from flour. It's the seed of the flower. All right? That is the flour. Okay, you can eat that. And eat something that is raw vegetables, right? How like pumpkin and all these kind of things, okay? Or you eat potatoes. Then after potatoes, you also can consider of eating fruits, simply fruits, right? But of course, there's certain fruits we don't take on Ekadasi. You don't take durian on Ekadasi. There's one devotee, Prabhu, boleh makan durian? I said, you cannot lah. Don't eat durian on Ekadasi day. Don't eat pomegranate. You know, the red color seed with so many seeds. All these things are very rich. On the day you're supposed to give a rest to your body. Don't take any rich food that can digest. You know, like those days when I first joined this ISKCON Hare Krishna movement, on Ekadasi day, there's only one diet. That is cucumber and sengkuang. And cucumber and sengkuang with that peanut sauce. Okay, roja. That's it. All right. And you boil the potatoes and eat with butter with little salt. That's our diet. You know, that's what we've been practicing all the while. Okay, we boil the potato, we put a little butter and a little salt, and we just eat that. And sengkuang and also this cucumber with that chutney, what they call with the sauce, peanut sauce, roja sauce. That's all. But nowadays, looks like Ekadasi became a big feast. Okay? Do varieties of food because Ekadasi, I'm fasting. Come on, fasting, but you're working. Okay, I am saying this, you know, and I don't want to be a hypocrite because in my family also the same thing happened. Ekadasi, buckwheat idli, buckwheat dosa, Ekadasi dinner, pizza, buckwheat pizza. Then what kind of fasting is this? Right. So we must remember that. That's why the Lord asking, what qualification does he have to see me in my dancing? Is it by just drinking milk can one attain devotion? No. So the devotion to Krishna has to be expressed it out. You should chant your rounds. You should think of Krishna. You should consider reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And if you can distribute books on this particular day, it's going to be even more glorious. So all this activity of devotional service, it carries huge merits. It double, triple, even times by 1,000. Okay? Not simply trying to what to eat and trying to maintain the diet, right? So that's a question, because suddenly I just remembered this. The mood of servitude is proper for the living entity. All right, the mood. So the mood to service is actually the proper mood for a living entity. And the mood of being Lord is detrimental. That means the mood of being Lord, that means you want to be the controller, is detrimental. That means it's going to be a challenge in your devotional service. So we devotee as always must be remember in the mode of service. All right. That's why we call each other Prabhu. What is Prabhu means? Prabhu means master. I am your servant. Huh? So we call each other Prabhu. That means I am your servant, you are my servant. You know, we are all like serving each other. Okay. So we should be in the mode of servitude. Okay, service attitude. All right, but not in the mode of being the Lord, Ishvara. I am the Ishvara. I want everybody to come and serve me. All right. And this kind of mood of want to be the Lord is detrimental. That means it's going to be a big challenge, a stumbling block in your devotional service. So when this mood of being Lord will be there, when there's a false identification. I'm a senior, I got huge knowledge, I am this, I am that. I want people to serve me. Okay, so that is detrimental. Stated in Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Leela, chapter 23, text 480 to 482. Udara Bharana Lagi Ebe Papi Sabha Loya Ishvara Ami Ule Charakava Kukure Bhakshya Deha Ihare Laya Palaye Ishvara Vishnu Maya Mugda Hoya Kupura Bhakshya Deha. The body of Kupura bird and bird. Deha means body. All right. All sinful person claims to be God. All sinful person claim to be God in order to fill their bellies, although factually they are idiots. So we should understand from this. So all those people who claim themselves as God just to fill their belly, they are factually idiots. All right, this is not by me, but by what they call? By Lord Chaitanya. Udara Bharana. Udarana means stomach, filling up the stomach. Lagi eve papi sabha. Loye Ishvara, Ami. Ishvara, I am God. Ishvara means controller, God. Ami means spirit. So these are the people, Mula Jarat Gava. That means they have Mule. That means they have brain and everything. That means they are idiots. All right. So what we should understand, what we can understand from here. So there are a lot of movement, especially in Malaysia, which is very popular, like Sai Baba. Sai Baba always claimed himself as God, you know, but some says no, he's a guru. All right, and guru and this and that. But of course, when you read his pastime, he'll be even talking about this thing. Okay, the another person is like Shankara Baba, who's still alive in Tamil Nadu. All right, there's another joker, and another biggest joker, of course, that one gives you a lot of love is Nityananda Swami. Nityananda.
Kailasha.
Kailasha, yeah. Anyone of you have applied for the passport, Kailasha passport? Anyone? No one, huh? I applied for the Kailasha passport. I'm just thinking what this joker is up to, because he wants to get a own nation, he create a Kailash nation, and all this kind of nonsense until they come out with a passport. Such a bogus, right? So, but what happened when they are this thing? But when we are following such an idiot, what will happen to us, right? So if you so that means this kind of knowledge that we have seen, like so many very successful people, highly educated people are still following this kind of people. So that means what we understand, the material knowledge is not a benchmark to determine a person who are scholar. All right, who are scholar. That means we don't say, oh, the guy got a PhD, the guy got this thing, the guy is working in a very high rank officer. You know, he's this, he's that, he got double PhD, triple PhD. that is not a benchmark or a yardstick to determine a person, a very intelligent person. Example, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He had the title Siddhanta Saraswati, the greatest scholar ever lived at that moment of time, right? At that moment of time. But his spiritual master is illiterate. Okay. Why? But the spiritual master attained, but illiterate means, that means but he is such an advanced devotee and such an advanced, very highly intelligent person surrendered unto an illiterate devotee and accepted him as his eternal spiritual master, right? Because according to that modern calculation, it's not a yardstick. The person can be very highly educated, but it's and some of we are considered very fortunate that we are not stuck in this kind of bogus movement. You know, this kind of bogus movement and this thing. And simply, we just need to do some magic show. Give you some ash or take something from the mouth. This kind of magic show you can perform. Just by seeing the magic show, people are basically get lured in. Prabhupada was once asked, so Swamiji, can you show some miracle? Because I've seen so many other Swamis come here, they do miracle, walk on the water, elevate, sit and just float, these kind of things. So what is your miracle? And Prabhupada just looked at the reporter and says, can you see all these people? They are all formerly a drug addict. They are all hippies. And now they became happy. The hippies became happies. And that is my miracle. The government was trying their best to kick this habit and to stop this movement. But Prabhupada did it. Vivan?
Harishna Prabhu, I have a question. Okay, now, for example, we have a lot of imposter around us, somewhere like Sankara Baba, and then Nityananda. But at some point, this Nityananda happened to praise and glorify Prabhupada at one point.
Yes.
And then he say glorifying things about Krishna or something like that. In this sense, since they are glorifying someone and then they glorifying Krishna, they saying the name of Hari. So is there anything that we will be committing any aparat by chastising them or saying down about them? So because they're saying the word, because earlier, the earlier lecture, Prabhupada, Prabhu says that anyone says the name of Hari, voluntary or involuntary, he is considered as a devotee. So by chastising this kind of person, is there any we are committing Vaishnava aparat, Prabhu? Because is there any detrimental for our devotional service, Prabhu? Harish?
Okay, very good question. See, we are not chastising. Chastise who you chastise, you only chastise your subordinate. You chastise your child. That is called chastisement, right? Then criticizing. Criticizing means when we are get together, we are simply criticizing without any, when there is no result. Okay, for instance, we simply sit and criticize someone. So what is that benefit of criticism? There's no benefit at all. So we are just sitting in one place and we are talking bad about someone. That is criticism. All right. But we are doing a comparative studies. Like Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, sometimes we need to quote a person to improve our bhakti. We need to quote a person's fault to improve or to make a point in devotional service. All right. So that's the first thing. Secondly, even though he chants Hari and he chants Krishna, all right, it is there. The benefit is definitely is there, because even unknowingly, when the Muslims even chant haram, okay, haram, still the benefit of chanting Hari Ram is still there. There are benefits, right? They still have, that means some or other Krishna has created an environment that everybody directly or indirectly chant the holy name of the Lord, they will get their benefit. And somehow or other, the piety, the punyama, accumulate until one moment that person will become a devotee. All right. But doing unknowingly, all right, unknowingly, the benefit is there. Okay, then you accumulate it until this thing. But the problem is the most dangerous part of people is imposter. Imposter. The reason that we fell from spiritual, what this imposter, why these people are there? Why everyone claiming themselves as God? Why it became like a popular belief? It's not only in India, even in America. Even in America, there's one person, he says that I am the Jesus. I am the person that came to serve. All right, he called all of them, isolate all of them into this some kind of ashram. That one day they all say, okay, now if you all wants to go back, Jesus is calling you back. Now let's commit suicide, and there is a mass suicide happen in America. All right, and that person who claimed himself as Jesus, now he's in life sentence. It's a life imprisonment. Okay, so you can even Google it. And even when you look at this Islamic religion, also they have that I am the messenger and I am the next person, because they say that the end of the day, Kalki, right? And I am that person who come to save. So why is there this kind of thoughts are there in all varieties of religious practice? Okay? Because that was our original thought. Originally, we all thought want to become Ishvara. When we start to see the opulence, okay, opulence of Lord Vishnu, we had that thought, how if I can have the same opulence like him? How if I can this thing? So I want to be the Ishvara. I want to be the Purusha. I want to be the enjoyer. And because of that, we fell down from the most glorious place. We made the biggest mistake in our life. That is a dreadful mistake. And once we fell, we couldn't go back. For trillions and trillions and trillions of births, we couldn't go back. So the thought is deadly thought. So now, when a person going to claim himself as God, that means he's repeating the same mistake again. When we had the thought in Bhakthiyaloka, we are thrown into this material form of life and we pass through. Horrible. And imagine in this body itself, you still not changed and you still have the thought that I am God. What will happen? Where does he go? You know, what type of hell is prepared for him? And what kind of abominable births that he may take in the future? Abominable. He can perform all kind of prayers. He can perform all kind of rituals. Fair enough. He could have inspired people. He could have created some good people. All right. There's a lot of staunch Sai Baba devotees became devotee. I mean, became a Hare Krishna devotee, became a surrender to Krishna. They are. But they made a biggest blunder. Okay, and this blunder is considered unforgivable blunder. Okay, so this unforgivable blunder. So that means they are doing that. And what happened to those who are following such blunder? What happened to those who follow such blunder? And they also will follow suit. Just like the blind leads the blind and fall into a ditch. Okay, a blind man leading another blind man, all go fall down into a drain. All right, fall into a ditch. All right, that's what Jesus says. This term is from Bible. Blind leads the blind and fall into the ditch. So like that. So when we are discussing, okay, we have no right to, of course, when we are practicing bhakti, we have no right to criticize or to find fault in anyone. All right. But here, what we are doing here, like for instance, like now what they call this Bhakti Vinod Thakur is translating, he says that factually idiots. So why you need to make that point? Because a strong point. Okay, because we must remember when we follow this kind of people or we are following that kind of people, we have to think for ourselves. Are we doing the right thing or not? Okay, so we are not criticizing, we are not chastising, you don't chastise them and you don't criticize them, but we are making a point, right? How these bogus people are there to improve or to further convince our fortune that we are very fortunate to be in this bhakti marg or the path of bhakti. Okay, so that is the thing that we are doing. But if you're going to go on criticizing them, right, to find all the faults that you have done, like when a group of, they call prajalpa, nonsense talk. Just sit in a coffee shop and start to talk. This. But what is the conclusion of the thought? Why are you talking about him? Are you coming to any conclusion? But the conclusion here, what we are performing here, we are coming to a perfect devotional service, because we all want to become a perfect devotee. We want to become a pure devotee. So in the path of pure devotee, we are doing a comparison studies, right? Comparison studies. That means we take a group of people who are extremely foolish, we take a people who are madhyama foolish, and we take the people who are lebih kurang foolish, right? So we take and we do the comparison study and to see how we can, that means, so when we are on the path of bhakti, so we know that what are the things to follow and not to follow, and this. So this is not criticism and this is not aparat. The aparat is aparada. Aparada. I mean, aparada. Radha means is a Ladini Shakti, the internal potency of Krishna. When you put it is prada, aparada. Aparada, when you put a in front, is a opposite reaction. Okay, sakti, asakti, right? Bhakta, abhakta. So that means when you put a in front, it's an opposite meaning. So that means when we offend a devotee, that is called aparada. Aparada. That means we are destroying our bhakti, because the Ladini Shakti will leave you. The Ladini Shakti. All right. Radha is Ladini Shakti, the internal potency of Krishna. All right. She leaves you. Okay. The aparada is only directed to a devotee. Only to a devotee. Right? The aparada is not directed to any other personalities. You got it? Have I answered you?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Harish.
Are you happy with the answer?
Okay, Prabhu. I am happy, Prabhu.
Okay means not. That means lebih kurang okay lah.
It triggered another question, Prabhu. That's why.
Okay. Yes, I know.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Among our devotees, if let's say we're
Okay.
not good with them, if you're not favoring with them or something like that, we are in some room we are not with
Not in good terms.
and not in good terms or something like that. But when someone is not in good terms, I found out some of the devotees, they call it andalu, indalu, which is I find very uncomfortable to hear such a words from a devotee,
Yes.
something like that. So I cannot.
Andali for everyone, for Chinese, for devotees here, Andali, Indali means that fellow, this fellow. That's what Vivan is mentioning, fellow. Okay. Continue.
So which is very uncomfortable to hear that. Even though you're not good with them, well, suddenly that person from Prabhu it turned downgrade to Andalu Prabhu. So
That fellow.
if that's the case, they want house, Prabhu. They are not imposter, but they are saying in such a way.
Okay. What they are doing is all depends on their certain relationship with that kind of devotee. That means, see, that devotee is actually performing dosa kirtan. When I am not happy with one person, I should keep it to myself, not go around and propagate. Okay, that is aparat. But you who are standing there, you should simply leave that place. If you're going to listen, you're going to shake your head, even though in your heart you're not happy, also aparat. So how to avoid aparat when someone is talking bad about certain devotees? I mean, talking bad in the sense of showing his anger, showing not on constructive area. Say, like for instance, when we choose one devotee, like for instance, Jada Bharat Maharaj is such an exalted devotee. But we are talking about his fault. He was attracted to the deer and he born as a deer. Then after that, he born as a dull-headed person, like that. So we are talking about that. We are making a point. That means we are referring to a devotee to make a point. That is different. But to say that this devotee have all these bad qualities, he born from all this kind of background, this and that is aparat. So when we are there listening to that, you simply walk off. If you can, you counteract. And how the best way to counteract? I'm not interested to listen to any of this. Sometimes to be bold is good. Okay. They say, no. say, oh, these fellow are these fellow. Because say example, you have to be with him. You have to work with him. You say, these fellow are these fellow. I said, one thing you can do, please stop. I think I'm not interested in that. Okay, that's your relationship with him. Let's talk something that what we're supposed to do now. First thing. Secondly, when they start to talk, just get up and walk away. If you can't do any of these two, you are part of that aparat. Okay?
Okay, Prabhu. Well explained, Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhu.
Anything else in your mind?
That's all, Prabhu.
That's all right.
Mm.
So when we are talking about a person for constructive reason, that's okay. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur also mentioned Bhakthiyaloka. Right? We have studied that before, right? When we need to talk about something to make a point, that's okay. But if you're going to take, when we will dosa kirtan, dosa means fault. We go to kirtan means singing. Do you know what? You know that fellow, the devotee, you know. What happened? Oh, that fellow gone case, lah. Only so big. Oh, where saffron, where you now gone, you know. That's the thing. That's why the management is no good. Because the president no good. Because that fellow no good. Because of this fellow no good. He couldn't take care. Simply force the fellow to become one. You know, do this, do that, you know. And sometimes it's very annoying. You know, I have a dream of making my son as a brahmachari. In real, I'm telling you the thing, right? I want my son to become a brahmachari. I want him to renounce the world, wear saffron, and go and do the propagation of Krishna conscious. And I keep telling him, you know, the reason that I brought you to the world, not for anything else, not for you to become an engineer, not for you becoming a doctor, not of you becoming such a great successful person or what. Enough. In our parampara, in our family lineage, we have seen enough money. So it's not big deal at all. I want you to dedicate your life for Krishna. Right? So that's what I'm telling. So one day I was sharing this to one devotee, and the devotee immediately poured cold water on me. He said, come on, Prabhu, that's the biggest mistake you're going to do. Never allow your son to become a brahmachari because you can't trust these fellas. You know, like just now, like what Vivan was telling. இவனுங்களை நம்ப முடியாது. Or in English, we can't trust these fellows. You know? So I just abruptly this thing. And one day, in fact, I was telling about my rounds of japa that I'm doing, right? And he said, no. He said, 16 enough, Prabhu. I said, no. I mean, my rounds give me pleasure. I cut him off. So then that means that's the thing. That's why what Bhaktivinoda Thakur I've already explained. That Rupa Goswami already explained in Nectar of Instruction. There's 3 types of devotee. Madhyam, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Okay? We must be able to identify the Kanishta. The Kanishta can be a very senior devotee. Can be even a Brahmana Diksha, except a Brahmanical Diksha. And they can be in the standard of Vanaprastha. Right? They can be. Right? But when we identify them as Kanishta, we offer our obeisances in our mind and just say, oh, Hare Krishna, or try to keep your minimum association, and that association also must be officially and beautifully. That's all. You do not show any kind of love and affection, just like how we did with Karmis. Because when we start to open our mind in confidence, and they're going to start to talk all these kind of things, they're going to offer, you know, since they are senior, we can't even walk out from them. You know, they will hold you and they tell, you know, these. So we have to listen, and you know, at the end of the day, we also have to perform apara. The taste of the holy name will leave you. All right. So now, what is the reason we are studying this? Oh, the phrase Kanishta, you know, do you know why is the Kanishta? No, you are identifying them. That's all. Just to restrain yourself from that association so that you do not go into that kind of situation. That you have taken so hard, you have struggled so hard to become a devotee, and now you're coming and you're about to get ruchi, taste, and suddenly you hear these kind of things, it's not worth it. That's your birthright. And you do not allow anyone to come and spoil that birthright. Because after trillions and trillions of birth, you got this opportunity. You do not allow anyone to steal it from you. Right? One thing, you allow people when you are becoming big in your conviction. How convinced are you? I'm very convinced. Example, I'm not very convinced. I'm still fallen, but I'm very convinced with my bhakti. I will never allow anyone to come and steal it away from me. All right? Because it took me such a long journey to be here. So when the reason that we are studying Bhakthiyaloka to identify people, to see the environment, to safeguard yourself. Right? When you see someone, when you see a karmi, don't associate with them. If you need to associate with them, associate beautifully and officially. That's all. Don't go and open your mind and everything. Finish. At the same time, even to Kanishta Adhikari, Kanishta devotees. You do not need to go and open your mind and ask for blessings, all that. Just say, Hare Krishna, how are you? Are you okay? Everyone is okay at home? Okay. Keep it officially. When you sit and talk to them, that's when they're going to open the mouth and they're going to criticize them. Because the nature of Kanishta Adhikari is to only they respect the deities, they love the deities, but they misbehave with all the other devotees. But Krishna says, you can call yourself as my devotee, but actually you're not. But if you are a devotee of my devotee, you are actually my devotee. We have studied that in Bhakthiyaloka also. So we have to safeguard ourselves from this kind of onslaught. Right? So we are studying that not to find fault. Oh, look at this devotee, 40 years in Hare Krishna, 30 years in Hare Krishna, He's a Kanishta, That is aparadh. Okay? We have no right to find fault. We have no right to find fault. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, you can't even see your back. You're so, what they call, you are so imperfect that you can't even see your back, but you're finding fault on others. What is your right? So do not find fault, because we are faulty. We are faulty, we can't find fault on anyone until we become perfect. And once you become perfect, you start to love everybody. Uttama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikari, they see everyone has the potential. They see everybody has that seed, the Bhakti Lata Beach in their heart, and they will come to tap into that potential, the potency. They tap into that potency, that you look into ways how he can make you a great devotee of Krishna. You see the potency, like Srila Prabhupada. He never underestimated these hippies. They have not bathed. Imagine in a room, Prabhupada sitting and all the hippies are sitting around. Sometimes when you go near the drunkard people, how smelly. When people have not taken bath for months, how smelly, how horrible, the same kind of things. And they're all sitting in the room. And some people even open the shoe and come in the socks. And the socks have not washed for months. How smelly. And Prabhupada tolerated all that because he saw the potential in them. And he made them a pure devotee of God. So we are studying this as studies to safeguard ourselves. All right. When we see what they call Kanishta Adhikari, we just, how we see Kanishta Adhikari, not by their appearance, by their character. All right. Even if you have any previous experience with that Kanishta Adhikari. Hare Krishna, welcome. How are you? Are you okay? Are you fine? Please take prasadam. Can I serve you? Can I give you some prasadam? There's a prasadam while they're eating. Can I give you some sweet? Can I just bring something to you while they're eating? Official. But when you see a Madhyama Adhikari, you see a mentor, whoever it is, you sit with them and open your mind. Prabhuji, I'm going through this kind of suffering. I'm going through this kind of problem. Or there's a lot of confidential topic in this. I have read somewhere about this confidential topic. Only this, you talk to your mentor or your Madhyama Adhikari or Uttama Adhikari. Right? So we have to safeguard ourselves. So that's the reason we are trying to identify. Okay. Now, it's 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Shall we take a short break? Just take a short break, 1 minute break. Just get up, stretch yourself and come back. Because the next topic is going to be, the next session, next studies is going to be very, very interesting. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees, shall we continue? Okay, everyone is back, right? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now this is the thing. So that means a sinful person claims to be God in order to fill their belly. Okay. Although factually they are idiots. Okay. Accepting material body which is meant to be eaten by the dogs. They call themselves God under the influence of Lord Vishnu's external energy. Okay. What is that? Balaye Ishvara Vishnu Maya. All right. Mugda. Mugda hoy. So that means they claim themselves as God, even though the body that has to be meant to be eaten by the dogs. Okay, God and dog, opposite, right? So dogs. That means what? That means in those days, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when a person dies by the roadside and all these kind of things, all right, the body will be eaten by vulture or by dog and all this kind of things. That's why he says a sinful person claimed to be God in order to fill their bellies. I mean, not Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in Chaitanya Bhagavat mentioned, right? That's 500 years ago, right? Although factually they are idiots, accepting a material body which is meant to be eaten by dogs, and they call themselves God under the influence of Lord Vishnu's external energy or Vishnu Maya. A Grasta Vaishnava should model his character. After Lord Chaitanya and his followers. So we all should follow the footsteps, all right? Footsteps of Lord Chaitanya and also his followers. A householder should follow the ways of life obtained his means of livelihood as exhibited by Lord Chaitanya and his followers. If one desire Krishna in all his desires Krishna in all his activities, then those activities are auspicious, right? Example, you're working, you're doing a job, but end of the day, you're taking the money to serve the Lord because you want Krishna. Even the job that you're performing is auspicious. Those activities are auspicious activities. By endeavoring to gratify one's sense, but you work so hard to please yourself and attain irrelevant fruits, one becomes a materialist. All right. See, when you look at a materialistic way of life, so they work so hard. They go to work, they work and everything. So end of the month, they get a little ringgit, dollar. They get some money. And what they want to use that money? They want to use that money to enjoy themselves. They want to use the money to go for cinema. They want to go to the money to go tour. So that means all that income that a person earns just for enjoyment. All right, I work hard for 8 to 10 hours. So I get the money every Saturday and Sunday. I can go and have fun. All right. Now you see that usually towards end of the month, like the day I was chanting in a polo ground, Ipoh. Then suddenly one guy came and sat beside me. I say, "Ayo, why this?" And the first a grab food rider. Then he said, then he just created a conversation. So it's a Malay guy. Then while talking, then suddenly he start to say, I say, "How's your business?" I say, how many food do you see? Oh, now very slow, bang, very slow business. So why? Because now it's towards end of the month. Okay. Then, now once Gaji Maso, see when the salary comes in, it's a big jolly time for all the Grab riders. Why? Because when they get the salary, there'll be a lot of foods they'll order online and they will be busy going around delivering such food. All right. In fact, the Grab drivers also the same thing. When the month starts, that's when you see people wants to go to Aeon, they wants to go to this parade, all these kind of shopping malls, they like to go, especially after they get the salary. So what happened? So once they get the salary, the first thing they come to their mind, enjoy first. Right? Hey, you need to pay your car installment. Never mind, just next month I pay one shot. This month I'll just use it to enjoy first. So these kind of things. So when these kind of things happen, a person becomes materialist. But for a devotee to remain in householder and to become a renunciate is the same thing. Right? But for a devotee who remain in the household, still remain as stays at home with the family and everything, but his mind also, householder or to become renunciate is the same thing. That means they have to follow the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Ramananda Rai, Sri Pundarika Vidyanidhi, Sri Srivas Pandit, Sri Shivananda Sena, Sri Satyaraj Khan, okay, Sri Advaita Prabhu were all Grahastha. All of these great devotee, exalted devotees are all Grahastha, merit, and have thus shown us the way of faultless living. They showed us the way. how we can live life without any fault. The difference between the householder and a renunciate is due to the different means of livelihood. Different means of livelihood. Who? The renunciate, householder, grasta, and renunciate means sannyasi. It's all because of their different way of livelihood. If the home is favorable for a devotee, okay, now home. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, if the home is favorable for devotee, or devotee's devotional service, then he should not leave. He should not leave. If it is his duty, to remain a grihastha with detachment. Remain as a grihastha and detachment. But when the home becomes unfavorable for his service, then he becomes eligible to leave home. All right. So sometimes we get older. The children says, no need to go to temple. Why are you wasting your time? Stay at home. Sometimes when the children take over the home, as we become old, we will be like controlled by them. Even whatever things we want to do, so we have to get their permission. So like that's the time eligible to leave home. At that time, the detachment he develops for his house through his devotional service is accepted. That means only then it is accepted, right? Not simply because I can't stay with my wife, I can't stay with my children, running away from what do you call? Running away from your responsibility, that is not renunciation. That is escaping. You're escaping yourself. But if the house, you're performing very nice devotional service, but your house becomes a big hindrance and you're already old and everything. So that's the time that it is allowed to accept sannyas. Right? For this reason, Srivas Pandit did not leave home. For this reason, Swarup Damodara took sannyas. Okay, Srivas Pandit did not leave home, but Swarup Damodara took sannyasi because it's not favorable. All genuine devotees have remained either at home or in the forest due to this consideration. Right? Those days, sannyasi means they go to the forest. Right? Whoever has left home due to consideration is called genuine renunciate. Okay? Leave home to become sannyasi is a genuine. He's always careful not to commit offenses against the holy name. Right? You're always careful not to perform any kind of offenses. Now let us consider the occupation of renunciate. Okay. Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur is going to talk about what is the occupation of renunciate, a sannyasi. What is the occupation of renunciate? So we go through this quickly, right? Because this is just understanding. Because anyway, we'll try see any important point we'll discuss. If not, we go through it quickly. We read it quickly. All right. Now let us consider occupation of renunciate. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, chapter 6, text 222 to 227, 236 to 237, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to the renunciate Raghunath Das Goswami as follows. Okay, Lord Chaitanya spoke. Balakaila Vairagira Dharma Acharila. Raghunath Das has done well. He has acted suitable for a person in the renounced order. Vairagi Karibesada Nama Sankirtan Magiya Kana Kore Jivana Rakshana. A person in the renounced order should always chant the holy name of the Lord. He should beg some alms to eat. It means he have to go and beg for some food. And he should sustain his life in this way. Okay. Vairagi hana eva kare parapeksha karya siddhi nahe Krishna karena upeksha. A vairagi, a person in the renounced order, vairagya, the vairagi, no? In Tamil also we call the vairagyam. Okay, vairagyam. A vairagi should not depend on others. If he does, he will be unsuccessful. He will be neglected by Krishna. All right? He should not depend on anyone. Just like Prabhupada went to US, he never depended on anyone. Right? He only depended on his guru and also Krishna, and he became very successful. Then, Vairagi hana kare jivara lalasa paramartha yaya ara haya rashera vasha. If a renunciate is eager for his tongue to taste different food, his spiritual life will be lost. And he will be subservient to the taste of his tongue. Right? Even the Vairagi, that means that he must control the tongue. Vairagira Kirtya Sadanama Sankirtan Saka Patra Pala Mule Udar Bharana. The duty of a person in renounced order is to chant the Hare Krishna mantra always. He should satisfy his belly, Udara, right? With whatever vegetable, leaves, fruits, and roots are available. Okay, they shouldn't be very fussy. I need this, I need that, right? Jivara lalasa ye iti uti dai Chishnodara Parayana Krishna Nahi Poi. One who is subservient to the tongue, who thus goes here and there, because of the food, he goes here and there, devoted only to the genitals and the belly, cannot attain Krishna. Gramya Katha, another important thing, Gramya Katha. Gramya Katha na shuribe, Gramya Varta na kahibe, Bala na kaibe, Ara Bala na paribe. So Gramya Katha, in Tamil, we call Vetti Pech. வெட்டி தனமா பேசுறது ஒரே வெட்டி பேச்சு கிராமிய கதை கிராமியனா the village people இந்த கிராமத்துல உட்காந்து கதை அடிக்கிறானுங்களா காஃபி ஷாப் உட்காந்து டீ ஸ்டால் அந்த மாதிரி so we call கிராமிய கதை in Tamil we call வெட்டி பேச்சு do not talk like people in general or hear what they say. You should not eat very palatable food, nor should you dress very nice. All right, so that's the sannyasi is giving instruction. Amana manada hana Krishna nama sada laube Raje Radha Krishna Seva Manasa Karibe. Do not accept honor. All right, don't accept honor, but offer all respect to others. Always chant the holy name of Krishna and within your mind render service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. A sannyasi or renunciate should not live in the village of with his relatives. Another thing, the sannyasi should not live in his hometown. In other words, as stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 3, text 177. Sannyashira Dharmanahi Sannyasa Korina Nija Janmastani Rahi Kudumba Lana. After accepting sannyas, it is not a duty of a sannyasi to remain at his birthplace encircled by relatives. So once a person sannyasi, he has to leave. Shouldn't stay among their families. A renunciate should not meet a king or woman. Okay, a renunciate should not meet a king because when you see the king, you will look at all the opulence and you start to think how much money I can take from the fella. You know, there's a cheating will start. Or women. When the women means the desire or lust will come. All right. So should not meet. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 11, text 7, Lord says, Virakta Sannyasi Amara Raja Darashana Stri Darashana Sama Vishera Bhakshana. Stri means women. Right? Since I am, so Istri is women. That's why in Malay also called Istri. One second. All right, sorry. So, stri, that's why in Malay we call istri. All right, stri means women. Oh, this thing. Since I am in renounced order as a dangerous, it is as dangerous for me to meet a king as to meet a woman. To meet either would be just like drinking poison because you're going to lose your sadhana, right? A renunciate should remain faultless. They should not have any fault. I stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 12, text 51 to 53. Shukla Vastre Mai Bindu, Yaiche Na Lukaya, Sanyashira Alpa Chidra, Sarva Loke Gai. Prabhu Kohe, Prabhu said, Purna Yaiche Dugdera Kalasha, Sura Bindu Pate Keha Na Kare Parasha. As soon as the general public finds a little fault in behavior of a sannyas, very important. When a people find a little fault in sannyas, they advertise it like a wildfire. This is something very important. That's why a sannyasi, he carries a very huge task. Okay, we all have seen, right? Sometimes when the sannyasi is anything wrong, they will start to advertise like a wildfire. Okay, a sannyasi. A black spot of an ink cannot be hidden in a white cloth. In a white cloth, there's a black spot, you cannot hide it. It is always very prominent. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, there may be much milk in a big pot. There'll be much milk in very big pot. But if it is simply contaminated by a drop of a liquor, a drop of one liquor gets in, it is untouchable. The behavior of renunciation is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 17, text 2 to 9. Preme gara gara manaratri divashe, snana bhikshadi nirvaha karene abhyasi. His mind was absorbed in great ecstatic love day and night. He ate and bathed simply out of habit. The symptoms of pseudo-renunciate as stated by Lord in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Lila, chapter 2, text 117, 118, 120, 124, Ante Lila, chapter 5, 35 to 36. But before we go here, I would like to discuss this one matter. That is how a sannyasi should live. They should not associate with women, they should not associate with materialists, they should not associate with kings, presidents, and all these things. And imagine our beloved Srila Prabhupada broke all these rules and went to the West, right? He accepted servings from Matajis. The Matajis, like Urmila, like what they call favorite Govinda Das. All these, like another one is the one who sang that Govindam song, right? So even sannyasi should not hear Mataji singing. When they hear the lady singing, no, they should be very rigid. But Prabhupada went and broke all these things. And because for the sake of delivering all of us from the greatest danger, he saved us actually. And imagine how glorious is Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada basically, he degraded himself from Uttama Adhikari to Madhyama Adhikari just to save all of us, right? Because he's an empowered Acharya. Thinking about that, when you read all the rules and regulation, oh my God, how? Should not cross the ocean, should not leave materialists. But our Srila Prabhupada is indeed Senadipati Bhakta. What is Senadipati? Senadipati means he is the commander-in-chief of all devotees. All right, anyway. So, Prabhu kohe vairagi kare prakriti sambhasana, dekite na paran ami tohara vadana, durvara indriya kare vishaye grahana, darvi prakriti hare muner api mana, shudrosh jiva sabha markata vairagya kariya, indriya charana bule prakriti sambhashya. Prabhu kohe, Prabhu said, more pasha nahe mora mana prakriti sambhashi vairagi na kare darshana amita sannyasi apanare virakta karimani darshana rahu dure prakrita nama yadi shuni tabahin vikara poi mora tanumana prakriti darshane stira poyat kon jana. The Lord replied, I cannot tolerate seeing the face of a person who has accepted the renounced order of life, or who still thinks intimately with women, who talks intimately. Okay, Lord Chaitanya has given a warning. He can't tolerate those sannyasi who talk very intimately with women. So strongly so, do the senses adhere to the object of their enjoyment, that indeed wooden statue of a woman attracts the mind of even a great saintly person. Now let's look at this. So the women, the thing is so attractive that even the strong, it is so strong that the senses adhere to the object of enjoyment. Sometimes the mind can even get agitated, even to see a wooden statue of a woman, right? Sometimes when you go to the shopping center, there's a mannequin, right? Even to see the structure of a woman in a doll form also attracts the mind of even a greatly saintly people. Bhakti, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is warning, even the wooden statue, the mannequin, also attracts, right? Saintly person. There are many persons with little in their possession who accept the renounced order of life are like monkeys. Now, another warning is there are many persons with little in their possession. That means they don't have enough money, they don't have enough thing. They simply accept renounced order of life. It's just like monkeys, right? Because they know, okay, once I take sannyasi, I have my disciple will come and bring food for me, give me money, let me travel all over the world. So this kind of renunciation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, they are just like monkeys. They go here and there engaging in sense gratification and speaking intimately with women. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my mind is not under my control. It does not like to see anyone in the renounced order who talks intimately with women. So Chaitanya said, my mind is not under my control. Okay, my mind is not under my control. When I see this kind of people, they talk intimately with women. I am a sannyasi and I certainly consider myself renounced. But not to speak of seeing a woman. If I even hear the name of a woman, I feel changes in my mind and body. Therefore, who could remain unmoved? That means, therefore, who could remain unmoved by the sight of a woman? It is very difficult, right? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he's teaching everything through his example. So, women are basically very attractive. The voice is very attractive. The way they look is very attractive and everything. So, and he says, but how could one remain unmoved at the sight of woman? Okay, how can you? So that is how strong is this material condition is. The material condition is so powerful. So it is very difficult. Again, detachment in the heart of a householder is greatly appreciated. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is mentioning this. Now, let's look at this. He said, detachment in the heart of a householder is greatly appreciated. That means a person who are married, who have a wife, all right, and yet he can remain detached. Detached means the sense of he's controlling his senses and everything. These are the people are greatly appreciated. That's why in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya says, the brahmacharya and sannyasi, it is not recommended because the condition is such, right? In those days, the women are remain in the home and just serve the husband and this thing, remain in that community. But nowadays, when the women are moving out and all these things, so it is not possible. It's better to remain as grihastha, married man, and follow the bhakti marg. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antilila 580, the Lord says, grihastha hone naay raya sat vargera vashe, vishayi hono sanyashire upadeshe. Although Ramananda Rai was a householder, he was not under the control of 6 kinds of bodily change. Although apparently a pounds and shilling man, he advised even person in the renounced order. What does it mean? Although Ramananda Rai in a household is a married man, he was not under the control of 6 kinds of bodily changes. Okay, he was not under control. That means getting old, getting this thing, all is not affected. Although he looks like pound and shilling man. Although pound and shilling means, that means he's still working, he's earning his money. Pounds and shilling means you're earning for an income. But although looks like he's a pound and shilling man, he advised even person in the renounced order of life. That means he even gave advice to the person who are even sannyasi. A householder advising sannyasi, right? Because he's very strongly under this thing. Okay, now, a renunciate should not eat foods except goods from materialistic people, right? Another thing, the renunciate, sannyasi should not eat food or accept goods, any dakshina or what, from materialistic people. Nor should he invite other renunciate to eat foodstuffs or accept goods from such people. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 274-275, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami conclude as follows. Vishayira Dravyalana Kari Nimantrana Prashanna Naya Hoya Ihai Jani Prabhura Mana Mora Chitta Dravya La Ite Na Hoya Nirmala E Nimantraina Dekhi Pratista Matra Pala. I invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by accepting goods from materialistic people. I know that the Lord mind is not satisfied by this. My consciousness is impure because I accept all the goods from the people who are interested only in pounds, shilling, and pence. I mean, all those people are only interested in materialistic people. Therefore, by this kind invitation, I only get some material reputation. And the Lord replied in Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela, chapter 6, 27, 278 to 279. Vishayira Anna Kaila Malina Hoya Mana Malina Mana Hoila Hoile Nahi Krishnera Smarana. Vishayira Anna Hoya Rajasa Nimantrana Data Bhokta Dunhara Malina Hoya Mana. When one eats food offered by materialistic men, one's mind becomes contaminated. That means when we eat outside, we eat from any shop or eat from the materialistic people, our mind can be contaminated. And when the mind is contaminated, one is unable to think of Krishna properly. I have realized that, even whenever I go for the karini, I cannot chant Hare Krishna. Some or other your mind is kind of become dull. When one accepts an invitation from a person contaminated by material mode of passion, that person who offers the food and the person who accepts are both mentally contaminated. It is not proper, especially for renunciate, for sannyasi, to expect unasked for charity, right? So it's not proper for renunciate to expect unasked. That means it's not proper for sannyasi not to ask for charity, right? Or to expect. That means I go there, I expect you to give me something. That is not proper. A sannyasi must open the mouth and say, can you give me some grains? Can you give me that? You don't go there and just stand there, expect the things. No, I'm a sannyasi, so they should give me that, right? So it's not proper. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela, 6 to 84, 86, it says, Prabhu said, Bala Kaila Chadila Singha Dwara, Singha Dware Bhiksha Vritti, Veshyara Achara, Chatreyai Yata Laba Udara Barana, Anya Kata Nahi Suke Krishna Sankirtana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he has done very well by no longer standing at the Singha Dware gate. Singha Dware gate means what? The gate of the entrance of the king. You know, when you want to enter, there's a big, what they call? There's a word, you know, in English, there's one word. The entrance gate. What is the word they use? Anyway, I hope you understand. So before you enter, there's an entrance gate, right? Right? So like that. So he has done very well by no longer standing at the Singha Dware gate. Such begging of alms resembles of behavior of a prostitute. If one goes to the booth where free food is distributed and fills his belly with whatever he obtains, there is no chance for further unwanted talks, and one can very peacefully chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So he says, from you standing at the gate like a beggar, like a prostitute, it's better for you to go there and find anyone giving free food, just eat and be peaceful and chant Hare Krishna. A renunciate should not construct big temples or residences, right? A renunciate should not construct big temples or residences. By doing so, he becomes entangled in household activities. He should meditate on the service of worshipping Govardhan Shila. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Antilila 6 to 96 to 97, it is stated, Eka Kunja Jalahara Ara Tulasi Manjari Satvika Seva E Suddha Bhave Kari. Dui Dikshe, Dui Dike, Dui Patra Madhye Komala Manjari E Mata Asta Manjari Dibe Shraddha Kari. For such worship, one needs a jug of water and few flowers from Tulasi tree. This is worship in complete goodness. A jug of water and few Tulasi leaves, right? Or manjari. Manjari means the small flower. Flower you call manjari. This is the worship in complete goodness when performed in complete purity. With faith and love, you should offer 8 soft Tulasi flowers, each with 2 Tulasi leaves, one on each side of each flower. So he's advising a devotee how to pray. Devotee accepts sannyas order of life only in special situation. So that means a devotee accepts sannyas only in special situation. It is not always required. So it is not always required. A Vaishnava born in a Brahmana family can take such sannyasa when he leaves home, but he should not accept the limbs that averse to his devotional service. He should not accept something that can spoil his devotional service. Regarding the characteristic of Swarup Damodar Prabhu, it is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 10, text 107 to 108. Nischintya Krishna Bajibe e Tarakarane, Unmade Karila Tenaha Sannyasa Grahane, Sannyasa Karila Shikha Sutra Tyaga Rupa, Shikha Sutra Tyaga Rupa, Yoga Patta Nanila Nama Hoila Swarupa. He was very enthusiastic to worship Sri Krishna without disturbance. Therefore, it was almost in madness that he accepted the sannyas order. Upon accepting sannyas, Purushottama Acharya followed the regulatory principle by giving up his tuft of hair and sacred thread. But he did not accept the saffron-colored dress. Also, he did not accept a sannyasi title, but remained as Naishtika Brahmachari. Naishtika Brahmachari means a brahmachari who decide to remain brahmachari forever. Someone may accept sannyas in the form of minimizing his needs. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 20.7081, there is the following statement regarding the character of Sri Sanatan Goswami. Tabe Mishra Puratana Eka Duti Dila, Tenho Dui Bahir Basha Kaupina Karila, Sanatana Kohe, Ami Madhu Kari Kariba, Brahma Nera Gare Tena Kena Ekatra Bhikshalaba. When Tapan Mishra gives Sanatan Goswami used dhoti. There's a dhoti, that pastry here, that used one, he gave it to him. Sanatan immediately tore it in pieces. He tear it and make 2 sets of outer clothes and innerwear. Innerwear means kopina, all right? Kopin is a kind of a traditional underwear, right? Like how the sumo wrestler dress up, okay? He tear both. One he make into his underwear, a kopin, and another one just to cover his hip, right? So outer clothing and underwear. Sanatan replied, I shall practice this process of madhukari. Why should I accept full meals in the house of Brahmana? So I'm practicing madhukari means a very austerity way of it. Okay. The Lord response is found in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 20.92. Tina mudrara bottagai madhukari grasa dharmahani hoi loka kare upahasa. It is contradictory to practice madhukari at the same time wear a valuable blanket, right? So when you want to take that accept madhukari, that means like a totally renowned saint like Babaji, right? You want to become not that Babaji, it's not a Babaji Vesha. That means you look like for instance like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji and Jagannath Das Babaji. You know how they all look very simple, right? So when you accept that madhukari, that kind of vesha, that kind of dressing, what is the point having a very expensive blanket? Why you need to have a very good blanket to cover yourself? So he says it is contradictory to practice a madhukari at the same time wear a valuable blanket. One loses his spiritual strength by doing this, and one will also become an object of jokes, right? Or look at the sannyasi, you know, wow. Regarding the association of Vaishnava sannyasi, the characteristic of Madhavendra Puri is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat Ante Leela, chapter 4, text 419, 421, 423, 424, 426, 428. Vishnu Maya Vashe Loka Kuchui Na Jane, Sagala Jagat Baddha Mahatamo Gune. People were conditioned by the modes of ignorance and lost all knowledge due to the influence of Vishnu Maya. Okay, people are conditioned in the mode of ignorance. Okay, those in mode of ignorance had lost all knowledge by the influence of Maya. Lokadehi dukkha bhave Sri Madhava Puri Enanahi tilarda sambhasha yarik kari. Srila Madhavendra Puri was deeply pained by the godless of the people, and he found no one to speak to. Sanyasira Shaniva Karena Sambhasana Seha Apanare Matra Bale Narayana. Sometimes he would speak to the sannyasi, but to his dismay, because of it, out of his shock, dismay, he found that they claimed to be Narayana. Right? Sometimes he used to speak to certain sannyasi, right? And he was so surprised to see, they said, actually, do you know what? I am Narayana. Right? He became dismayed. Yeah? He found that they claimed to be Narayana. Jnani yogi tapashvi, sannyasi khyati yo ara, kara mukhe nahi dasya mahima prachar. Jnani yogi tapasvi. Tapasvi means the one who do severe meditation. And famous sannyasis never spoke about the glories of serving the Supreme Lord. These are the people who never talk how glorious to speak to serve Krishna. Right? Yata adhyapaka saba tarka se vakane Tora Sabe Krishnera Vigraha Nahi Mani. All the teachers and professors were only interested in logic and argument. They refused to accept the spiritual form of Lord Krishna. Okay, who? Those teachers and professors. That means those who are only interested in logic and argument. Okay, now it's quite prominent, right? Loka Madhye Brahmi Kene Vaishnava Dekite Kotau Vaishnava Nama Na Shuni Jagate. Srila Madhavendra Puri thought, why am I roaming among the people searching for Vaishnava? Right? Why am I roaming among the people searching for Vaishnava? What am I doing there? Wherever I go, I don't even hear the word Vaishnava. You know, so imagine 500 years ago, that was the problem. Even that time also, people they meet some sannyasi, the sannyasi says, I am Narayana. Right? When I see someone, they are materially affected. So I am going around looking for Vaishnava. Where can I find devotee? And he says, can't even hear the word devotee. Eteke se vana bale se sabha hoite. Vana vane kata nahe a Vaishnavare sahite. A Vaishnava. Vaishnava means devotee, a Vaishnava non-devotee. Therefore, he considered it is better to stay in the forest where he did not have to speak to non-devotees. Is it better for me to go into the jungle where I don't need to talk to anyone? He thought that. A Vaishnava sannyasi should give up the use of Mayavadi marking. Right? That's another thing. The Vaishnava sannyasi must give up the Mayavadi marking, like the patte, all this kind of marking, the 3-line tilak, all this thing should give up. Concerning the character of Sri Brahmananda Bharati, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 10, text 154 says, Brahmananda Pariyache Mriga Charmambara. Taho Deki Prabhu Dukkha Poila Antara. Prabhu Dukkha. Dukkha. Okay. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotee approached him, they saw that he was covered with deer skin. Seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very unhappy. Dukkha. Dukkha means he became unhappy because wearing a deer skin. All right, all this Mayavadi dressing. Regarding the pure Grahastha Vaishnavis, okay, or the lady devotees, the Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Lila, chapter 12, text 42, describe the procedure of seeing a sannyasi. All right, procedure for ladies to see sannyasi. Purvanat Prabhu Koila Sabar Milana, Stri Sabadura Hoite, Kaila Prabhura Darashana. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received them all, just as he had in previous years. The women, however, saw the Lord from the distance. All right. Of course, this is the setting is standard, but now we have all our Guru Varga was so merciful from Prabhupada, all our spiritual masters so merciful that even Matajis can approach them and even can speak to them directly. That is one of the greatest mercy that Srila Prabhupada have given to all of us. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay. Then a renunciate Vaishnava is prohibited. Okay, now the next thing is a renunciate Vaishnava is prohibited from all kinds of enjoyment. All kind of enjoyment is not allowed for a sannyasi. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Lila 12.108. Prabhu Kohe. Prabhu Kohe means Prabhu said, Sanyashira nahi toila adhikar, tohote sugandhi toila parama dikar. The Lord replied, a sannyasi has no use for oil. That means you shouldn't take oil bath, especially perfume oil. Okay, such as this, take it out immediately. Yes, Rosan Mataji. Rosan Mataji. I think you have the audio problem, I think. Can't hear you anything. Okay, now try to unmute. Can you speak? I can't hear you.
Sometimes I
Even?
think you need to reset the thing. You restart the thing, then only the audio can be audible sometimes. Rishna.
Sometimes you need to restart your computer, Mataji. But remember, don't restart now. Don't restart now. You can maybe send me you can call me, or you can send a voice note, or you can send a WhatsApp if you have any question. Because you're going to restart now, you're going to leave this place. Not worth it. Right? Just going to finish. Okay. Now, sannyasi has no oil. Okay. Should not use oil, especially perfume oil. Okay. The perfume oil, because it triggers your senses. So Lord Chaitanya says, take it out immediately. Take it off. A renunciate Vaishnava is forbidden from hearing singing of a woman also. Right? So they also not allowed to hear the singing of a woman. As described in Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Lila, chapter 13, text 78, 80, 83, 85. Ekadina Prabhus Yameshvara Tota Yoite. Se Kale Devadashi Lagila Gaite. Dure Gana Suni Prabhura Hoy Ila Avesha. Stri Purusha Ke Gai Na Jane Vishesha. Stri Gaya Bali Govinda Prabhure Kailo Kole. Stri Nama Shuni Prabhura Boya Hoy Ila. Prabhu Kohe Govinda Aji Rakila Jivana. Stri Parasha Hoile Amara Hoy Ite Marana. So now what he says here, one day when Lord was going to the temple of Yameshwara, a female singer began to sing in the Jagannath temple. Hearing the song from the distance, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately became ecstatic. He did not know whether it was a man or a woman singing. Just then, Govinda caught the Lord in his arms and cried, it is woman singing. As soon as he heard the word women, the Lord became extremely conscious. Come back to his conscious. My dear Govinda, he said, you have saved my life. If I had touched the body of a woman, I would certainly have died. Sometimes when you see the women are singing, they get excited, they go, because Chaitanya, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll understand. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu get ecstasy, when he start to hear people singing and everything, he goes straight, he go hug them, tell them, oh, sing some more, So he said that he saved him. So concerning renunciate wedding, Okay, how the fate of sannyasi. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, 13, 5 to 7, 10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 19. States below. Kalara Sharalate Shayana Atishina Koi. Sahite Nare Jagadananda Srijila Upai. Shukshma Vastra Ani Gaurika Dia Rangaila. Shimulira Tula Dia Toha Puraila. Tuli Balisha Deki Prabhu Kroda Vishta Ha Ila. Govindere Kahi Se Tuli Dura Kaila. Prabhu Kahil. Kata Eka Anaha Padite Jagadananda Chahe Amai Risai Bunjaite. Sannyasi Manusha Amara Bhumite Shayana. Amara Kata Tuli Balisha Mastaka Mundana. Swarupa Goshani Tobe Srijila Prakar Kadalira Shukshka Patra Anila Apara Neke Chiri Taha Ati Shukshma Kaila Prabhura Bahirvasha Duite Sa Se Saba Parila E Mata Dui Kaila Odana Padane Angikara Kaila Prabhu Aneka Yatani. The Lord was very thin, and he would lay down and rest on the dry bark of plantain trees. That means he sleep on the bark or the tree bark, like in Tamil we call it what kaili, what do you call it? Pai, right? He sleeps on the dry bark. Jagananda could not tolerate this, so he advised a remedy. He acquired some fine cloth and colored it with red oxide. Then he filled it with cotton from Shimula tree. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that quilt and pillow, he was immediately very angry. The Lord asked Govinda to put aside the quilt and pillow. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you should bring a bedstead where here for me to lie on. Jagannatha wants me to enjoy material happiness. I am in the renounced order. He's telling, I am in the renounced order, and therefore I must lie on the floor. For me to use a bedstead, quilt, or pillow would be very shameful. Then Swarup Damodar Goswami devised another method. First, he secured a large quantity of dry banana leaves. He then tore the leaves into very fine fiber with his nails and filled two of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's outer garment with the fiber. In this way, Swarup Damodar made some bedding and pillow. And after much endeavor by the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted them. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually showed an example how a sannyasi should be very strict, right? Regarding the renunciate food. So what is the food for them to take? The Lord has said in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 8.84 to 85. Prabhu Kohe, Sabab Kena Purire Kara Arosha, Sahaja Dharma Kohe Tenho Tondra Kiba Dosha, Yati Hana Jiva Lampatya Atyanta Anyaya, Yatire Dharma Prana Rakite Ahara Matra Kao. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, why are all of you angry at Ramachandra Puri? He is expounding the natural principle of sannyasi life. Why are you accusing him? For a sannyasi to indulge in satisfying the tongue is a great offense. The duty of a sannyasi is to eat only as much as needed to keep the body and the soul together. So all the above mentioned items are accepted as a proper occupant in renounced Vaishnavas. So now whatever we have read here, we went quickly. This is meant for sannyas. All right. So now you'll be wondering why are we reading this? But of course, as we are going through the Bhakthiyaloka, we read everything that Bhakti Vinod Thakur is explaining. Right. So we understand, because when we are on the path of pure devotional service, these are the certain things we have to follow. Like sometimes people say, I don't like this life. Like some devotee, I want to take sannyasi and everything. But this is how the sannyasi should be. Right. It is a remedy for everyone, householder and also sannyasi. Okay. Now, so now we read this, we understand this, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed a very strict rules. And Stri means women. The women that he's referring is the women who are not a devotee, right? That, I mean, just looking at the palanquin, the mannequin, looking at the form, everything seems to be very attractive and everything, because it is a natural for a this thing. And that is 500 years ago, still it was like that. Imagine now, it is even worse, right? But But what happened? Srila Prabhupada came and he gave that mercy to each and every one of us. Doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman. In fact, once even Srila Prabhupada was criticized by his god brothers, because they say, hey, come on. First of all, you went to the West and somehow you bring in all the ladies and they're all the ladies. And then Prabhupada said, women. He said, where? Where do you see women? Right? They show all these women. Oh, you are seeing them as women. I'm seeing them as the servant of Krishna. Right? That is how merciful Srila Prabhupada is. Now the proper occupant of all Vaishnava. Okay, now this is, okay. Now it's 10:53. If I'm going to start this, it's going to take okay. I think we just finish this one first. It's very important. Okay. Now the proper occupation for all Vaishnava. The proper occupation for all Vaishnavas. All Vaishnava means whether you're a Grahastha or a Sannyasi. Doesn't matter. Will be explained. There is no duty in the age of Kali other than chanting the holy names of mantra of Krishna. That's it. Right? That is the thing that he nailed it. He said what? There's no duty in the age of Kali. In Kali Yuga, there's no duty other than chanting the holy names and mantras of Krishna. And what are the mantras of Krishna? Like Srimad Bhagavatam. Alright? When we go to Srimad Bhagavatam, I explain what is that mean. Okay, I don't jump now. Let it keep as time comes. Right? So that means there is no other duty in the age of Kali other than chanting the holy name of Krishna. It is necessary for everyone to take initiation. And after that, it's necessary for everyone to take initiation into chanting the holy name of Krishna. Okay, it is important, everyone to take initiation. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.73, 74, 97 and 17.30 and 75. Krishna mantra hoite abe sansara mochana. Krishna nama hoite pabe Krishnera charana. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Krishna nama hoite pabe Krishna charana. Charana means the lotus feet. The Prabhupada name is Abhay Charanaravinda. Charanaravinda means the lotus feet of the Lord. Abhay. The Abhay means he's fearless after taking shelter at the lotus feet. So, Krishnera Charana. So, by simply taking to the lotus feet, when we chant simply by chanting, simply means what? Just simply. There's no rules. Just simply take Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Nama Vino Kali, Kale Nahi Ara Dharma, Sarva Matra Saranama, E Sastra Marma. In this age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than chanting of the holy name. There's no other religious principle, which is the essence of all the Vedic hymns. That means essence means that is the summum bonum, essence of all Vedic hymns. And this is the purport. This is the purport of all scriptures. All the scriptures, that is the conclusion. Krishna Nama, Ye Ananda Sindhu Ashvadana. Brahmananda Tare Aje Kato Dakasama. Compared to the ocean of transcendental bliss that is tasted by chanting, compared to the ocean, that means you comparing with what? Ocean of transcendental bliss that is tasted by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the pleasure derived from impersonal Brahman realization, it is like shallow water in a canoe. So after tasting, all the teachings of Mayavadi will seems to be nothing. Sada nama la iba yata labati santosha. Santosha means happiness. Ita achara kare bhakti dharma posha. One should strictly follow the principle of always chanting the holy name. Okay, and one should be satisfied with whatever he gets easily. Okay, such devotional behavior solidly maintains one's devotional service. So we should not over endeavor. When you go to job, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, done, come back home. Don't go and get some part-time job. Don't try to get involved some MLM business or some insurance and all these things. Try to earn. So you just maintain a job that can maintain your family, live life very simply, and proceed and engage your time by chanting. All right? Jnana Karma Yoga. Dharme nahi Krishna Vasha. Krishna Vasha Hetu Eka. Prema Bhakti Ras, by following the path of speculative knowledge, that means Mayavadi, fruitive activity, Karmi, or mystic yoga, right? To control the senses, one cannot satisfy Krishna. Okay, all these, just to control the senses, you cannot satisfy Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So, unalloyed devotional service to Krishna is the only cause of Lord satisfaction. I mean, when you serve Krishna with full enthusiasm and full distinct, unalloyed, that's the thing only can satisfy Krishna. The proper procedure and proper instruction of accepting a spiritual master is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 8, text 1 to 8, 1 to 1, 2 to 9 as follows. All right. I think this one we do it tomorrow. All right. Because it's already 10:58. This is going to be another long chapter. All right. So now we end the session here. So we open for questions. Is there any questions? Iba Viprak Ibanyas. Iba Viprak Ibanyas. So, one thing, I don't know that you all realize or not, when we read Bhakthiyaloka, it's basically we are chanting, we are reciting all the essential part of Chaitanya Charitamrita by following the path. Kiba Vipra, Kiba Vipra, Kiba Vipra. Okay. The proper procedure instruction accepting a spiritual master. All right, this is page 88. All right, page 88. Please mark. So we have another 10 more pages. Therefore, we complete our Bhakthiyaloka. Okay. So now let's open for questions.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Class, can hear you.
Yeah, I and resign.
Huh?
I think as the seaway, sometimes
Ecstasy.
it's difficult to use the words to explain. And some more now, you can see a lot of people's they think they are renounced, but in the end, they are very pure. Sometimes you was doubt, is that okay? What we're reading is a 500 years scriptures, not for now.
Yeah, but even Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years ago, still valid till today. Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken around 5,000 years ago, still valid today. So the instruction is still valid, right? So now when we understand this, now Mataji, you can see. Now before this, you had a doubt, right? Whether the person looks renounced, looks this, are they really renounced? You have a doubt. So now the doubt has been cleared. So what are the characteristics of renounced people? How the people should act, how the people should do, their activity and everything. So now we understand this. What is the reason we are learning about this? We are not even sannyasi. I think sannyasi is something like totally not within our mind. All right, renounce it. But we are reading all this so that it is the characteristic that we should see, all right, when we are dealing with others, just to safeguard ourselves and not to get entangled. So now, as your doubt is correct, but now with this knowledge, rectify the doubt and start to become more, because the more knowledge you get, the more sober you become. Yes or not? So you become more sober, then you can identify people, not for the sense of criticizing, but for your own safeguard. Okay, Mataji?
Yeah. From there,
Just like a soldier, the soldier just need to learn how to shoot, how to throw bomb. Right? But at the same time, they also learn how to do karate, how to distinguish. They also teach them how to use the weapon. They teach them all varieties of ways to kill a person. Right? So like that. So now we are learning so many varieties of ways to safeguard. Bhakthiyaloka, it is the book that can safeguard our bhakti. Okay, Mataji?
Yeah. I see.
Very nice question.
Not easier.
See, it's not easy, yes, because If you think that is not easy, even to live life in this material also still the same, not easy also, right? If you say that you want to be disciplined, right? You live life, even if you're not disciplined, you also still live life. But being a person who are not disciplined, who cannot control the senses, end of the day, they suffer even more. The suffering is intensified for a karmi, because at the time of death, he got so many things he's going to miss. How am I going to do with my business? Who's going to look after my business? Who's going to look after my children? Who? And even the death is painful. And for karmi, it's even going to be even more painful. But for a devotee, the death is painful, still the same feeling. But we have something that we renounce. We renounce our thought, right? So now I have already done my best. I've already given everything. Therefore, now I absorb in thinking at the lotus feet of Krishna. And how am I supposed to think at the lotus feet of Krishna? By simply chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You have nothing else to think. So, it's easier actually to be a devotee than a non-devotee. Do you all agree with me? Chaitanya Prabhu, what do you think? Chaitanya Daya Prabhu? Is he there? No, it's not there. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, what do you think?
Very true.
Very true, huh? Imagine Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, if you are not a devotee, you know how much of depression you might have gone in? Yes or not?
Oh, would have been terrible.
Terrible. Because for Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, for those who got to know him for the first time, he was a royal physician to the Sultan.
You went down, Babu. No.
I'm just saying, just for example, I'm just putting, because you've got a life experience here. And he lived a life of royalty, lavish life. And today is 80 plus. And imagine a person who lived a royalty life and now is not living such life. It is going to be even more depressing. It's going to be extremely depressing. Once upon a time, you know, when the Sultan of Perlis became Agong, imagine the life that Vaishnava Prabhu lived as a royal physician. He traveled the world in style. And he got the title Dato actually. But because he's a devotee now, I don't think so. There's lamentation. What do you think? Can you agree with? I mean, do you agree with me, Prabhu?
Yeah.
That means there's no lamentation. I lived a life like that. Now I'm old and I can't live the life. You know?
My Guru Maharaj used to say, "You have seen it all."
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. You have seen it all. You know how luxury a person can live. We have lived that life. You know, travel in private jet. You know, definitely right, Prabhu. Huh? Lavish life. But today, because he's a devotee, there's no lamentation about the past, right? And there's no thinking what's going to happen in the future. He simply sits and chants his rounds. And Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu is my biggest inspiration. And I believe everyone should take him as your inspiration. He chants not 1, not 16, not 32. He chants big crowds.
Right? Have you heard about this Jagat Bandhu Prabhu, bro?
Yes.
Fantastic, isn't it, bro?
Yeah.
He recently got married, but he married, she went to work in the kindergarten, he went to his office. That money he gave it to New Mayapur in France.
Oh, France. I see.
Because all the expenditure, all the celebration he would have done, he sent the money to Mayapur. Fantastic fellow, Mahaprabhu.
Exactly, Prabhu. Exactly.
He used to, the entire cardiac surgery for children, he used to pay 350,000 ringgit now. For liver transplant for a devotee in America, he paid. Yeah. Fantastic fellow.
Yes. That is devotees all about. And imagine if you go and talk to him, imagine the amount of ecstasy feeling that he has.
Yeah, but yesterday night, I want to give Dakshina. I opened my purse, no money, Babu. He immediately paid 100 ringgit for me, Babu.
Wow.
Just imagine, Then I took my money from the car and I went to him. He refused to accept it.
Ah.
He's dressing all very humble fella.
And he's very well to do, right?
Oh, he's a, what do you call it, property dealer, Prabhu. Selling house, land and all that. Sometimes he used to tell, immediately he gets about 1.5 million.
Look at that.
He has made a profit now, Prabhu. He's a,
Just
what do you
one-
call it, that kind of job? Property agent.
Mhm.
You say, you want a house, Prabhu? You take my house in Kia. You don't have to pay me anything, you say.
Really, yeah.
Hmm.
That's the glories of devotees.
Yeah.
That's a little example of a devotee, right? So now I want everyone of you our Vaishnava Prabhu. The first thing, he purified a devotee who are very rich, very wealthy. He makes something like 1.5 million one transaction. But he lives life a very simple life, and all that earning he donate for new project that is by Janananda Goswami Maharaj in France. France, the temple is almost to disappear, but Janananda Goswami Maharaj went there to revive that new Mayapur is in France. He gave the money, and he said all the devotees who need money for transport go for these 300, 400,000, and he's in great ecstasy. One point we learn, this is how a Vaishnava devotee not engage their money for self. All right. The second point that I want all of you to remember this. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu lived a lustrous life. When he opened his wallet, there's no cash. Were you upset to see?
Prabhu?
Were you upset to see when you open your wallet, there's no money? Did you
No, Prabhu. I was not at all upset. If I don't have the money, I won't go and take the prasad from Maharaj.
No, that is. But what I'm saying, a person who lived an illustrious life, when he opened the wallet, there's no penny, and he was never got affected. Imagine if you are not a devotee. When you open your wallet and you see no money, how frustrating it can be. Because once upon a time, you lived a life like a king. You know, when he goes with the Sultan, goes with the Agung, definitely he also get all the facilities. And someone as a doctor, a royal physician, right? Imagine. But because he's a devotee, he could accept the fact and he can still smile and laugh about it. You know, that is what. So it's easier to become a devotee, and it's more pleasurable to be a devotee than be a karmi. And imagine, just think about it. You know, when you don't have money and you live the illustrious life, oh, once upon a time, you could see all the people who are depressed, because sometimes I used to like talk to them. What is their biggest challenge? Once upon a time, because they couldn't forget their past. They couldn't forget their past. Once upon a time, because I was like that. You know, I made my first fortune, first million when I was 27 years old. I became a millionaire. And 28, 29, 30, floating. But Krishna gave me a time slap in 33 when I was 33. I lost everything. And I was declared bankrupt. You know, and I was thinking, why Krishna? Why you do this? Why you do that? And after that, I went into this kind of thing. But when I start to take up reading back all these kind of things, and I start to realize that was the greatest blessing Krishna gave.
You're a millionaire now.
No, I'm not a millionaire.
No. Spiritually, you're a millionaire.
Maybe, but one thing, Prabhu, what I am going through now, I mean, I'm just saying, just to share my own opinion. There's no kind of anxiety. You know, children are growing up, I have to educate them, I have to provide this. There's no kind of anxiety. There's no anxiety because Krishna is providing. You know, so when I was talking about, just now I was telling, when I've talked to one Prabhu about this thing, he said, no, you cannot do that. You have to go and get a job. You have to go. He's a very senior devotee. So that's when I start to I say, okay, Hare Krishna, I just walked off. Because I know associating with him will even spoil my. Krishna will provide. Krishna will provide. Krishna will never put you in trouble. You know? And I used to pray to Krishna, dear Krishna, please don't let me go back to work. please don't let me to take up my business again full-fledged, because I'm extremely a workaholic. When I go into the business, because I have that capability, because as a forex coach trainer, I can earn easily 5-figure, almost 6-figure income a month. But I pray, please don't put me in that kind of environment, and please engage me in your service. I love to read your books, because now I start to feel anxiety that I'm thinking whether will I have the lifetime to read and relish all these books of those ones. And Krishna fulfilled my desire actually with all of you, dear Prabhus and mothers. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you that you have taken up this task. Because when I first started, in fact, I told Vivan, I think I made a Arva collar. In Tamil, we call Arva collar. I was thinking, I think I made an abrupt decision by sending that post, let's do Gita's, a Sastra Tadi marathon. Because when I commit to this, I must commit 5 days, 9 to 11. Every day, 5 days, I have to sit there. That's my active time of going out, making some money, meeting people and everything. Do you think I made a wrong decision? But my mind says you made a wrong decision. By my instincts, some or other push me into this. But I am really relishing such a great pleasure. And all because thanks to all of you. When I mention this to everyone, to others, they say 9 to 11. Do people turn up? Yes, we have average 14 people. What? In the morning, 9 to 11, we got so many people coming for your class. Around 9 to 11, 14. Sometimes it can be 20. What happens if you do class in the evening? Only 3 or 4 turn up. 2 or 3 turn up. In the morning, so many people turn up. How is that possible? I don't. Well, before you could say further, I just walk away from that. Because I don't want to get so, that 2 things will climb on you. I don't want to go into the egoistic, but it is my good fortune. As what Vaishnav Prabhu said, I think now I am a multi-millionaire. Not financially. Financially is not a big deal at all. But the feel of contentment, the happiness, the satisfaction, the bliss, and the loving reciprocation with devotees is unbelievable. Just like I think around last week, just this week, now this, I think early this week, was it Monday or something like that? There's a vegan restaurant in Ipoh. So I need to go and fetch my daughter because the school is beside. And I just go and have some salad and some biscuit. So I went. And that time, Rusan Mataji with another Buddhist monk came, and she came. And while we were talking, suddenly she just went and paid for my meal and everything. And she said, no, I have to do something. No, the loving reciprocation. Can you imagine? As a devotee, you with another devotee, you will have true friends, true friendship, true loving reciprocation. That is not outwardly, that's not the relationship, the friendship is not from outward dressing. Oh, I'm a very successful person, so I come and kowtow to you. Oh, no, there's no such thing, nothing. It is a true friendship, true relationship. And this true friendship, true relationship, you only can get in devotee sangha, not outside. Trust me, because I've been done that. When I was a millionaire, I don't even need to go to the bank and tell them to take out cash. I just need to call. Sometimes the place that near the Ipoh Padang, there's a public bank, is always jammed. Cannot get parking. So sometimes I just call the bank. I say, I need 50,000 because tomorrow morning I'm going for a tender. Right? So I'm on my way from KL. Actually, I'm at home. I'm on my way from KL. Prepare the money. I'll come and collect at 7 p.m. They'll prepare the cash and wait for me. Right? And I just go in, just sign on this thing and just take the cash and walk out. Just like that. When I go out, the RHB bank near the Ipoh Padang, I just walk out, people open the door. Oh, yes, one. Even the security recognized me. But when I got declared bankrupt, what happened? Total opposite. I just called a friend and just want to talk to him. Then first thing he said, see, if you want money, don't call me. I said, I got a shock. I thought you're my very good friend. I just want to talk to you. I need someone to talk. Nothing to do with money. So why are you talking like that? I know, I heard that you got bankrupt already. Right? Because they said we should. And you know what? Among my clan, the Chettiar clan, there's a proverb. There's a proverb. They say, in Tamil, they say, Vanda Murugan, because they only pray to Murugan, Karthikeya. Vanda Murugan, Andi Vesathala Vandalam Kadu Torka. That means in English, even Lord Muruga that comes to your house, the worshipable Lord come to your house in the form of a beggar, don't even open the door. That is their principle, you know. Vanda Murugan, Andi Vesathala Vandalam Ni Kadu Torka. And imagine when you start to fail in the business, you are considered inauspicious, you get rejected from the family members, you get rejected from the relations, you got rejected from the business community, you got rejected from the friend. And now the only one that I have is my wife and children, my parents, my sisters, my siblings. Other than that, everything just disappeared.
But this proverb about Murugan, terrible, Babu.
Exactly, Prabhu. Exactly. Because when I went and saw my uncle and everything, then then they don't want to talk to me. Even they don't come and give me wedding invitation. If any house warming, any auspicious thing, they don't call me because I'm considered inauspicious because I've lost my fortune and I was a bankrupt. So you know. Bro?
Yeah, terrible, Babu.
Exactly. And they had Panjay and somebody was talking. Then my another uncle, okay, he was developed by my grandfather. My grandfather developed him. You know, I didn't ask money. I just went and sat there just to get the association or something like that. No. Then he just turned back and looked at another friend and says, "Unakku theriyuma, kumbra deivam aandiya vandalum kadu thorkadu." He told me, even Lord Muruga comes in the form of a beggar, don't even open the door. You want to see Muruga come in the form of wealth, opulence.
Opulent.
But today,
Lord Muruga won't forget him, Babu.
no, I was shocked with that statement. Imagine how materialistic. But today, I think I'm the most among all of them. All of them are still under stress. They give you a side glance. They look at that. But I am extremely happy and blissful. And it's a kind of beautiful feeling. That's why money is not everything, especially. You know, because at the end of the day, the respect, the respect that the person should get is according to their activity, not seeing them through the monetary success. And the same way I'm bringing up my son, as for my children, I say, I don't expect you to become a doctor, engineer, everything. I want all of you to become a pure devotee of the Lord. And especially I told my son, I want you to become a brahmachari. Where's Saffron? Don't even think of getting married. Let my parampara, my lineage, stop with me. Never mind. Doesn't matter. I don't have a grandson. Doesn't matter. But I want you to dedicate your life for Krishna. Because when they born, I took the baby and I offered to Prabhupada. I said, Prabhupada, this is your child. And I'm going to bring them up on your plate. I offered that. You know? So I said, so like that. So what I'm saying is, to the question, that friendship is only found in Bhakta Sangha, only in the association of a devotee. The devotee can be even rotten devotee, but still they are the best. I got that experience. There's one particular devotee I always criticize. She's so much of ego, fat ego, all this kind of thing. I would always like think and talk about her. She's a trouble in Ipola. Always a talk. But once, what happened? My whole family was contracted COVID during the COVID season. My wife, my son, and my another daughter. Myself, my another daughter, my youngest daughter, 3 of us, no COVID. But 3 of them COVID and all were quarantined in the room. And the time the COVID was like very high flying, you know, so many people were dying. And I don't know how to cook and I got a deity in the house. What to do? The only thing I know how to cook is khichdi. I was thinking, then suddenly when the devotee heard, she was so kind enough. She cooked and sent the food through the Grab food. She called one Grab guy and told, every day I want you to come and take this thing and bring to Meru, bring to this person's house. I want every day, you know. And she called me up. She said, Prabhu, I've already cooked everything. And some very nutritious food. And it's so much of abundance. I can't even finish it for lunch and dinner. It's still left over. So much. She cooked and sent to me. And she said, Prabhu, I have not offered. Please offer to your Lord. And that's when I start to realize how foolish I was to criticize her. You know. And there's another devotee that I used to criticize. The first day, he said, oh, Padita Tarana's family got COVID-19 or COVID. Okay, never mind. You cook the food, I will take. And he took the risk by taking the food and coming to my house and put it right in front of the door, pop. And from the balcony, he just told her, Prabhu, don't worry, Prabhu, Krishna will there, take care of it. So much of love. Even the devotee that I cannot name, that's only in devotee association. And that's when I start to realize devotee is far exalted than any of my family members. Any of my extended family, relatives, they are far superior. They are extremely superior. I got all the other relations can cook and send to me. But no, they did. And quarantine for how long? 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 3 weeks quarantine. Around 2 weeks. And she cooked every single day. And I said, Mataji, I'll just benefit somebody. Say, all that, don't worry first, please. Then I forcefully said, I have to give you dakshina. Okay. At first I said, I want to pay. She said, not allowed. She said, not going to take. I said, you're a Brahmana. I have to give you dakshina. And I gave her somebody. Okay, as dakshina, you cannot reject. When a person gives dakshina to a Brahmana, they should accept. They cannot say no. So for that reason, I'm giving to you. Such a loving relationship. So I realized one thing, if anything happens to me or if anything happens, the first person that's going to stand in front of my door will be a devotee, not others. So therefore, what I'm trying to tell you here is, devotee is always a devotee. They can be a Kanishtadhikari, they can be even Uttamadhikari. The devotee is always a devotee. Even a fallen devotee, even a crazy devotee. Sometimes you see crazy devotees, mad fellas, mad devotees, nasty devotees. There's a lot of terminology we can use. But devotee, always a devotee. And we can rely on them. That's why I'm telling you, come and join the community. Join the temple. Be in that community of a devotee. Because if anything happens, they are the first one to be there. Right? You can't expect your relations and all these members to come and stay with you. So, okay, why I'm telling you this? See, I'm going out of the topic again. So what I'm saying is, talking about the past, once upon a time. But you know what? There's no devotees who laughed at me, There's no devotees say, oh, what's a fault? Oh, so rich, driving Mercedes. Oh. Nobody said that. But the devotee consoled me. He said, Prabhu, this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. If I give you special mercy, I'll take everything away from you. You got special mercy, Prabhu. So imagine the word, the consoling word that they're telling. But outside, they say, stupid fella, don't know how to do business. The grandfather was such a millionaire, Jamin, and the father screwed up. And they start to quote that Punjabi quote, the Sikhism. Guru Nanak said, one property can never last more than 3 generations. Right? They start to put these kind of things. The grandfather worked hard, the father developed, the son screwed up everything. They are so disheartening and everything. Until you go for, like once I was in a shop buying grocery, the guy came, my cousin, my nephew getting married. He came and gave the invitation to the shop owner. Wedding up, please, you all come, whole family must come. And I'm just wondering, I said, whose wedding? He just smiled at me. He don't even want to say. After that, he just said, he said, okay, enough, okay, I go. He went. And the shop owner realized, because all our people buy from him, because he knows our family members and everything. He said, that place your cousin, right? Say, yes. Oh, maybe he come and give patrika in your house. No, he didn't give me anything. And he said, you Chettiar fellows are the most rotten fellows on earth. I say, I agree with you. Even they don't want to do that. They don't even want to look at everything. But the devotees were so loving, consoling. Say, come, Prabhu, come and do some seva in the temple. At least you can take your mind away from your losses, this and that. But somewhere other, that's what I'm telling you. So when I read Bhakthiyaloka, a lot of things that what Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, it is very, very, very relevant for all of us. Very relevant. So the true friendship is only through devotee association. That's why Bhakti Vinod Thakur keeps stressing, don't even associate with karmis. Because you're going to get disheartened, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to be like heartbroken, just name it, anything. All possibilities will happen. And the worst part, they can even kill your bhakti. Right? They can even kill your bhakti. So that's the thing. All right? So it's already 11:30. Oh my God, all these recorded is so Krishna. Uh-oh. Okay, anyway, no problem. So anyway, thank you so much for all of your kind association and my humble obeisances to Charalakshmi Mataji, Gandhi Mataji, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Vivan Prabhu, Chaitanya Daya Prabhu, Xiong Fugwing, Nanda Mataji, Kesavan Prabhu, Jnanam Prabhu, or Mataji, I'm not sure. Iskandar Balan Prabhu, Sonia Mataji, and Rusan Mataji. Please accept marble obeisances. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to discuss this wonderful book on Bhakthiyaloka. And I think most likely tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we might conclude Bhakthiyaloka. Then we proceed to start Harinam Chintamani, because the Bhakthiyaloka is going to end in the chanting of the holy name, and we're going to start with Harinam Chintamani, starting maybe day after tomorrow or the following day. Today is what day? Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, right? I don't even know the time. Today is Wednesday. All right. So Thursday, Friday. Most likely this week we done, and next week onwards we're going to start Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Harinam Chintamani, that also composed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Right. So I hope that you all have printed out that book. If you have this small book, okay, it's like this. If you can get the book, please get one. If not, if you don't have access to this book, just go and print, because this book is price is only 5 ringgit. But if you're going to print, it's going to cost you 10 ringgit. All right, doesn't matter. But whatever it is, get the book done. Be prepared. Most likely Friday or next week, Monday, we will start the new book, right? So, I saw Iskandar Balan Prabhu unmuted. You want to say something, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu. No. I just want to tell you, thank you very much for
Okay.
sharing all this important and information for us to and reveal ourselves. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Where to buy the book? Okay, in Ipoh, we don't have Kesavan. We don't have that book in Ipoh. Because formerly this book is from the temple, the holy name, but I don't think so now it's available. And if the only place you want, you can get it in KL. I'm not sure whether you can KL. Another thing, Chaitanya Daya Prabhu, the Chaitanya Charitamrita that you ordered is out of stock. I forgot to mention that to you. So according to Gokul, he says it's going to take at least 1 month to arrive, right? So later I'll call and talk to you about this, right? So this book, holy name, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I'm not sure whether it's available, or you can even try in the things that you can buy, Lazada, and another one is Shopee. You can try Lazada or Shopee, you can see whether you can find the book. But if you can't find the book, just simply go and print it. All right, just go and print the book and compile it. So we're going to go into a deep studies of Sri Harinam Chintamani. Until then, have a beautiful day. Wish you all the best. Wish you all this thing. Beautiful and blissful day. And today is Ekadasi. Please chant your rounds. Those who have not chanted 16 rounds, today is the day that you should try doing it. And those who are chanting 16, try to go down. Till then, have a wonderful day. Vancha kalpaturubhescha kripa sindhubevacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnave vayo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.